we have to talk about Armor Wars. So Armor Wars was announced, if I'm not mistaken, I want to say it was back in 2022. Somebody could double check me on that. But I want to say it was 2022 where Marvel announced this. Okay, so I want to be very clear about this. This isn't something that the rumors talked about online. This isn't something that the big outlets was like, hey, reportedly Armor War. No. This was something that was happening. That Marvel themselves, I want to say it was the D23 or something like that. They told us Armor Wars was coming. Okay. Matter of fact, look at the logo. Look at the logo. They even had a logo. You know, if they got an official logo, it's real, right? They told us Don Cheadle was coming. He was going to have his own show, all of that good stuff. Then, not only that, but we got some news later, not from Marvel, but at least from a big outlet, I think Hollywood Reporter or somebody. They said, hey, Armor Wars is no longer going to be a TV show. We're actually going to turn this into a movie. I said, whoa, okay. Now listen, between you and me, okay, just come here a little bit. I don't think Armor Wars needs to be a movie. If we're being honest, I don't think it needs to be a movie. But I'm not going to hold this black man down. So if they're going to give this brother a movie, I'm with it. Fine, because I'm rooting for everybody black. But we still don't need no Armor Wars movie. Just saying. So if it is all the way from 2022, we have to think about what happened in between that time. Because the one thing that has been the case, and I'm going to put this on some of my colleagues. Yes, I'm talking to some of my press colleagues right now. I'm calling y'all out, and this is only because I nerd out on this stuff. Y'all had a lot of time to talk to Kevin Feige. Y'all had a lot of time to talk to Brad Winderbaum. Y'all had some time probably to talk to Don Cheadle. Not one of y'all asked them about Armor Wars. Nobody asked. Let me tell you something. Marvel had a whole D23. They went to Comic-Con and not one word about what's going on with Armor Wars. Not one. I'm not even asking for like full details. I'm just something. Nobody said nothing? I mean, I'm just saying, maybe I missed it. I didn't see no headlines, no nothing. Either way. It looks like we finally have something. We finally got a little something about what's going on with Armor Wars. And it's funny because I actually got a chance to talk to Don Cheadle a couple years ago, and it was right when the news came out that he was going to have it be a movie, and I told him congratulations, because I was rooting for him. But he's very good about this, right? He's like, thanks a lot, but I don't, not gonna talk about that. Okay, cool, no problem, no press, fine. But it looks like we finally got something. I don't even know if I want to call it official, kind of official, but I feel like this is the first time in public we're hearing about Armor Wars. Don Cheadle actually sat down with what is that? Good Morning America or whatever. I don't know. And they asked him, "What do you think? Like, what's up with Armor Wars? What are we doing? What's happening?" So I figured we might as well play this clip, but of course we got to get ready. I want to hear from Don Cheadle himself. What's the deal with Armor Wars? This was the Today Show. Thank you. I don't watch these things, so I don't know. But here's what he had to say about the status of Armor Wars.
Anything you can tell us about Armor Wars, the next Marvel?
What's Armor Wars?
Oh, come on.
Listen, it's the line, I could tell you, but I'd have to kill you, and I just met you guys. I don't want to do that.
Right.
But that was it. That was it. My man had to give us the standard Marvel answer, which is what's Armor Wars. So there's not much to go off of from that. There's not much. But because your boy speaks a little Marvelese, you know, I also speak a little Feige-nese as well. He learned his Marvel lines from Feige. Y'all know that, right? What his non-answer tells me is obviously he can't talk about it. Obviously. But what I do know is that if y'all go back to some of Don Cheadle's interviews for Infinity War, y'all remember when he did that interview with Mark Ruffalo, and Mark Ruffalo literally spoiled the movie, and Don Cheadle was like, "Man, what the hell? What is wrong? What is wrong? Hey, man, be quiet!" Like, spoil the movie. But Don Cheadle knows what he can talk about and what he can't talk about. The fact that he can't or is, I mean, obviously he was joking here, right? But I think the fact that he's even unable to confirm that Armor Wars is a thing, that in itself is a red flag. And we just read that rumor about how in the coming months, Marvel's going to decide the fate of Armor Wars. I don't like this. I don't like it. Now, let me also put something out there. And for anyone here that's new, trigger warning. Not too long ago, we had a story about how, well, let's go back even further. Ike Perlmutter. Ike Perlmutter had been with Marvel from the early get-go, and there was a whole back and forth with him and Kevin Feige. Kevin Feige was literally ready to just quit Marvel and leave, mainly because Ike Perlmutter was like, "Man, listen, I don't want to see all these women around here. Black Panther, hell no. Nah. That ain't gonna sell." Bob Iger, who, you know, came in via Disney, was like, "Ike, shut the hell up. Feige, we gonna let you cook." He made Captain Marvel, made $1 billion. Yeah. Then he also made Black Panther, 1.3 billion. Mwah, chef's kiss. Fast forward to what, earlier this year, last year, whatever. You had a man named Nelson Peltz. Nelson Peltz was one of those investors in Disney. And one of the things he was trying to do was he wanted to be one of the chairmen on the Disney board. There was this whole election vote that they had to do, real succession type stuff. And some of Nelson's comments made it out in the outlets and in the news. And Nelson was kind of like, "Yo, why we gotta have all these women's? Why are all these why are the blacks getting all these, you know, movies and stuff? Why do we need to have that?" And he questioned a lot of the decision making that Disney/Marvel was making. Now, think about this. I personally believe that he was saying the quiet stuff out loud. Think about the time frame. This was around the time where Marvel was taking loss after loss after loss. They were not hitting a strong stride. This is around the tail end of phase 4, right? So in Nelson Peltz's eyes, he looked at it as all that diversity, all that inclusion, all the women's and the blacks. Y'all are hurting us. We should not focus on that. Now, Nelson Peltz got kicked out. He didn't get voted in. He left, divested. I think he was good friends with Ike Perlmutter. He also was like, "All right, cool, whatever." But you started to see a shift with the direction of Disney. Now, I'm not saying that these are a direct correlation, but I'm not going to disregard the fact that you started to hear Bob Iger say some of the same things that Nelson Peltz said. Now, Bob Iger didn't say everything that Nelson said, but he did say, for example, Nelson Peltz said, y'all got to slow down. We can't keep making all these movies every year. We keep making all these sequels or whatever. Now, he also said that comment about the blacks and the women, but then Bob Iger also came out and was like, hey, we got to slow down. We can't be making all these sequels and all these other spinoffs and all this stuff. We got to slow down. I personally believe, this is just my opinion, that Bob Iger listened. He heard. And it was probably very hard for him to ignore what Nelson Peltz was saying. Keep in mind, this is right around the time where Captain Marvel, the sequel, The Marvels, failed, bombed hard in the box office. And Bob Iger, who I believe is a smarter guy with his communication compared to a Nelson Peltz, he's not going to say the quiet part out loud. Bob Iger came out and was like, we're going to focus on more relatable titles and themes and topics and stuff like that. More relatable to me translates to, we're not going to give you those things that are hyper focused on specific genders, races, ethnicities, cultures that everybody can relate to. And if I had to translate that into PR talk, because when I talked about PR talk, they talk in a different language. And I've told y'all this story before. When I first got started as a critic, I was approached as, oh, here's urban content. We'll get you the urban films. And I was like, urban? Like, you mean black? Like they couldn't say that, but that's what urban meant. And I told him, I was like, no, I review movies of all kinds. Like, I don't only talk about black movies. Like, I will, but that's not all I do. And they were like, oh, you mean general content? And I was like, oh, general? You mean white? Like, is that what you mean? So general is all. Okay. I need y'all to kind of see like the little sprinkle of racism in there. General, everybody really just means white versus urban, Latino, gay, LGBTQ, whatever. But general is everybody white. So I kind of took what he was speaking and saying as a dog whistle of, I'm not going to say that dumb stuff that Nelson Peltz said, but he ain't wrong. So what does that mean? That means if you're going to refocus on things that are for general audiences and more relatable, are you really about to give this man a whole show or a movie at that? I mean, hey guys, they already gave you a Black Panther. They already gave you a Captain America that is a black man. What more could you want? You want more? So I feel like Don Cheadle not even acknowledging that Armor Wars is even a reality is not a good sign. Even though he was joking, even though, he was saying this in jest or whatever, I still think that that's not a good sign. And it sounds like Armor Wars is probably on the chopping block. Again, I don't think we need it, but I don't like that it's something that was promised publicly by Marvel, featuring a talented black actor, and it's probably not going to happen. I don't like that. Those combinations I don't like. But you guys let me know. How did you interpret what Don Cheadle said but didn't say? How do you feel about the state of Armor Wars? Is this something that you still want to see? Is this something that you're interested in? Or I don't know, maybe you think it is a good idea that they're passing it up. Maybe there's a potential L that Marvel just is avoiding. Whatever you think, Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below.
Thank you so much for watching. This was just a segment of one of my live chats, and if you're interested in joining in on the next one, be sure to subscribe and turn on your notifications for more. I've got more videos and reviews to do for you all, and until next time, I'll see you all later.